My job, so back off. Yeah. Oh no, I'm starting to have a different perspective on pickleball, I can tell you.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? Me too.
Oh, yeah.
All right, everybody, let's start our 2023 finally AGM. If I can get everybody to please just turn their phones to silent. We're not going to be disturbed. Funny driving up here today, I was with Dwight, who has been our treasurer for the last 4 years. And it was 4 years ago today, or in September, that we actually were driving up here to do an in-person AGM in a small community hall just outside of Red Deer. So it's a bit of an anniversary for us. So, moving forward here with our AGM. The agenda, as was sent out to everybody. First of all, my name is Kirk Jensen, President of Pickleball Alberta. This is the AGM that was sent out November 4th to all the members. We'll have a roll call, approval of minutes, year in review reports. So each one of the directors will go through their different departments, talk a little bit about it through their slides. We'll also go through the financials, the financial statements, and the budget. We'll appoint auditors for our fiscal year of 2023. And then the important part is making sure that we have our board of directors elected, and their bios went out as well on November 4th this year. And, or November 17th, I'm sorry, where they all were on there, except for Jeff, and we'll maybe have you stand up during yours.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so first off here, Madam Secretary,
Yes,
do we have quorum?
we do.
We have quorum.
24 individuals present.
Thank you very much. And voting delegates, this is something that is very new or unique to Pickleball Alberta, where we have our 8 sport zones, and each zone is supposed to have a meeting to appoint 3 delegates. I'm just curious, Marie, the delegates that are here, I know Sue, you're from Calgary.
Barhead.
Yeah, Barhead, and Kate from Red Deer. Good. And also the voting delegates are the board of directors. So anything that requires a vote, they will be the voting delegates for all motions. All right, call the meeting to order. And we've gone through the delegates. Our board of directors are both voting delegates. First point of business is the adoption of the AGM minutes that were sent out on November 4th. Could I have a mover of the motion, please, to adopt the minutes of the 2022 AGM? Joan Barber. Joan, where are you from?
St. Albert.
St. Albert.
Sir, I did make a point. My name is
Yep.
misspelled in the minutes.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll make that correction.
Yep.
There's an N, it should be an M. Thank you.
Did you get that, Marie, then?
Yep. got it.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll, as amended then, Joan? That's fine? Okay.
Yeah.
Would you like to second the adoption of the minutes?
Sure.
All right, and your name and your club again?
Steve, last name is Heim, Barhead.
All right. Thank you, Steve. All right, any discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, again, voting delegates, all in favor of the adoption of the 2022 minutes, please raise your hands. Adopted. Okay, all right, thank you very much, everybody. And Murray, can I get you to as well to be taking minutes for this
Indeed.
meeting for our next year? All right, first of all, I'd like to recognize our current board of directors, President Kirk Jensen, myself. We have Adolf, if you can stand up. From Calgary, Treasurer Dwight Chalifer. Dwight. Jeff as well has helped a lot, not on the board, but is with the accounting, so thank you very much, Jeff. Secretary Murray Young. Membership Brenda Fazer. Officiating Darren Jones, he's not here, he's down south, doing some officiating right now in Phoenix. Technology, Allison is also down south from Calgary. Competitions, Wanda Lazar, I believe she's down south as well. In her place? She is, yeah, that's what I thought. Dean Croach, juniors. Coaching Ilse Wong is in Lethbridge right now, and Lauren is in Edmonton, couldn't make it as well. All right, so first of all, I really appreciate all the work they have done. A lot of great work this year. So thank you very much, everybody, for that. Present year in review. I'm not going to go through this very much. This will be in the PowerPoint presentation that we'll have up on the YouTube channel, but some big things have been happening across our membership is continually on the rise, setting new records. Referee program is the top in the country. You'll see that in his slides. Our Pickleball Alberta TV YouTube channel, which is unique in any province, and I think in any country. The only people I think that also have a YouTube channel is the Pro Tours down in the US. Our social media is widely used, a lot of it because of our demographic that we have in pickleball. We have a state-of-the-art website that's used now across platforms, and you'll see again, it has a lot of hits from our membership and actually around the world. We had a great provincials this year in Red Deer, hosted by the Red Deer Pickleball Club. Our branding continues to be strong. The Around the Post newsletter, again, just sets record numbers there with the open rates, the number of people that are viewing it. We implemented a $10 development fee on October 1st. It's kind of when the anniversary is for the year-end membership. Anybody that signs in October 1st is good up until December 31st, 2024. Again, Pickleball Alberta is seen as the model and the leader across Canada. I don't know how many times I get calls from different provinces saying, hey Kirk, how are you guys doing this? How are you doing your coaching? How are you doing your juniors? How are you doing your refereeing? We just do a lot of things really well through a lot of hard work of our volunteers. And then just me. Some of the branding that we have, some that we've used to date, and some that we are going to be using. So we got our Pickleball Alberta, we got our junior pickleball. That's the logo that's on our junior paddles, our provincial crest, or shield. That's what we've used for the last 2 years, a bit of a standardization there now. Team Alberta, that's something that we would look forward to in the future. Talking with Daphne Reed, the president of Pickleball Ontario, they have put together a Team Ontario that are going down to the US that they selected through their provincials qualifications. So something that we might want to eventually move towards when we have our PATV, our YouTube channel. Thank you very much to our sponsors, Pickleball Superstore, Above and Beyond Promotions, who does all our medals for us and our awards. Coach Pickleball, they've been a great sponsor for us for our junior paddles, also for our Special Olympics program, and Sunbreak Video that helps us a lot there with the live streaming of our provincials. Do a great job for us there, very professional. The Around the Post, what we try to do is talk to different people around the province every month, kind of highlighting them, whether they're builders, whether they're players, whether there are people that just are helping out with the game. We try to touch base for everybody across the province, from north to south, from east to west, and there are just a few, and all the different names that you see there along the left-hand side. This is statistics that anybody that was in marketing would just shake their head at, and I know when I talk to sponsors, I use this a lot because we have our sponsors in our newsletters. But we are, as you see there, the number of deliveries that we do, the number of opens that happen, and then what percent of that is. So over 12 months, we're averaging 79% open rate for our newsletter, which is staggering. Doing some Googling, the average open rate for a nonprofit email is 26%. So we are 3 times what the average is for a nonprofit. And if you just look at the universal open email rate for corporations and things, it's 6%. So again, we're 12 times the factor of that. So that's incredible. And I know when I walk through the aisles there during tournaments or at events or just on playing rec play, so many people come up to me and say, thank you very much for your newsletter. one gentleman came up to me and said, my wife loves you because of your newsletter. So it's really well received, and again, it's a great way that we're communicating through to our membership. You know, all our different directors send me content that we put it together. So whether it's juniors, or whether it's Alberta Pickleball Day, whether it's coaching clinics that are coming up, it's a great vehicle that we use for communication through to our membership. Pickleballalberta.org in 2023. You can see we've had 16,000 sessions from Canada all the way to Bangladesh to Peru. People are looking at our website. And that's up 10,000 views this year. Our Pickleball Alberta YouTube channel. This one blows me away. We did this, I think 3 years ago we started it, Garen and I, for our provincials at Spruce Grove. And we thought, yeah, we'd give it a try. So we set up a YouTube channel, started putting all the different events and matches there, and we would say, you know, Pickleball Alberta Provincial Championship, what was the gold medal match, women's doubles 4.0, who the players were, who was hosted by, where it was, the date. Now we're starting to put in the referees and whoever did the video production. So that is getting, now it's over 20,000 views for 2023. 20,000 people are going into that. And to us, that's a great benefit to our clubs because they see the Red Deer Pickleball Club, anybody that maybe is in the US or anywhere across Canada, see the great facility that it is and that we have. We have kids that are watching, children, or I guess, children of parents, grandparents, watching their matches on live, or they can go back and watch it at any time on the channel. So there's a lot of different views on it, even well after the provincials, or I know I went out to a few different club tournaments and did it, like for St. Albert, for Spruce Grove, and Parkland. A lot of people are going back in and watching those matches. So in summary, how many times are we contacting our membership? And I think, again, this is unprecedented anywhere in Canada. I know it is that we touch 107,000 times. A member has gone in to either look at our website, our YouTube channel, our social media. That's up 19,000 from last year, which is 18%. So our membership is well engaged and well communicated with throughout Alberta. Alberta also has very high notoriety or viewing with Alberta Pickleball Day that Ilsa does a lot of work with, our coaching director. We give out awards to all the different clubs. Dean with his junior jamboree this year in Edmonton. A great success. Neil will talk to you a little bit more, but we also have our jackets. We have caps, we have panners, we have our junior paddles. All raise awareness of Pickleball Alberta and just pickleball in general in Alberta. Something to be very, very proud of. Major events that we've had, Western Regionals this year were in Medicine Hat in July. We had Alberta Pickleball Day in July, the Junior Jamboree. August we have the Pickleball Alberta Provincials here in Red Deer. We had our 55 plus games in Brooks. Of the Year awards were done in Red Deer this year at the Provincials, and in August we had the Nationals in Regina. In my presidential term, I've seen some amazing things happening in 4 years. We've gone from 4,000 to 10,000 members. We've gone from 20 to 41 clubs. And again, that's from Peace River to Lethbridge to Medicine Hat to Drayton Valley. It's amazing the number of clubs that we've got. We started sending out around the post when in 2019. And it became much easier because we used to use Wild Apricot. I'm not sure how many people used to remember that system. But I tell you, the PCNS, the new national system, is so amazing how it will divide the funds, and it'll put the club funds over here in this tranche, provincial funds, and national funds, and we just have to download it. I know Dwight is treasurer. That has made his job incredibly much more simple. Social media, PA YouTube channel, we've gone from pen to paper. We brought in Of the Year awards thanks to Haddo. We've added the directors, officiating, coaching, junior technology. We began having board meetings every month. They used to be like almost every quarter. And we brought in new procedures for the board with standardizing agenda minutes and reports. I was also with Pickleball Canada, where I implemented with Richard Chambers. We brought all the provinces together and we put in the national system for membership. I also constructed with Jim Parrott coaching agreement with Tennis Canada. That took 11 months and it was about a 20-page document. So that's been well worth it now, being recognized. Because one of the things that we really want to make sure that we get out is to become a national recognized sport for funding. That's important for our province, that's important for our country. You must have a recognized coaching program. You must have a recognized junior program. All kind of makes sense. So having that agreement with Tennis Canada that's recognized is a big part of moving towards being a nationally recognized sport. Brought in a fee increase so we can move towards from a governing board to an operation, and then to one with a governing board with operational staff. It's unsustainable with 10,000 members to continue doing this, I would say, with just volunteers. Quebec has had it now for 2 years, where they've had staff, and they're about the same size as we are. Pickleball Canada, in the last 3 years, has hired 3 or 4 people, and they've also now have a lot of consultants working. So it's the only way to go. And I'd also say the size of some of the clubs, quote unquote, Calgary, might be something you're gonna have to start considering as well.
I've already got a motion and.
Oh, got a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, we are no longer, I'd like to say, a backyard sport. We have got to becoming a sport of concern, and that we do not want to be burning out our volunteers. It's something that's, we have to be moving towards. There's a lot of organizations that are smaller than us that have executive directors and have staff. And also the demands of our membership, and rightfully so. I was also VP of Sport. I brought in the regionals program for competitions and brought it in closed nationals. We implemented the first championship with pickleball brackets, and people here in Red Deer remember that because remember it crashed a few times when we first opened up registration. Yeah, my phone blew up.
It was also right after COVID.
Yes. That is my report here for now. Haddo, if you want to come up and just quickly go through yours, it'd be great. And I know there's one point there that's probably a little bit, the last one there's out of date.
A little out of date, that's okay. Hey everyone, Haddo Thule, Vice President of Pickleball Alberta for one more day. Yeah, my scope of supporting the board is mainly revolved in supporting decision making and various programs that we're looking to. Is this thing working? Yeah, various motions that we're pushing forward at all of our different monthly board meetings and providing direction and just understanding what the organization is doing and making sure all the decisions that we're making are aligned with our strategic objectives and where we want to go as an organization. We've done a lot with officiating, a lot with juniors, and all that costs money. So a big part of what I've been supporting the past couple of months is making sure we get a fee increase for the organization so we can make sure we're able to continue to grow and support pickleball, the growth of pickleball in Alberta. So it's been fairly contentious for a number of folks with the fee increase. Kirk has already touched on all the reasons why, so I don't need to go too deep into that, but nonetheless, very proud to say that we did get something in place because there's a lot of gargantuan tasks that need to happen for the club to move, or the organization to move forward. Our bylaws need a serious overhaul, and I know we're going to have to, the new board is going to have to navigate that quite delicately because they can be, very critical for everyone's success, players, municipal clubs, and the organization. So, moving from 400 members to 10,000 members, the expectation of the board and the governance of how we make decisions has all increased. And I would love to keep the membership fee at $5 and continue that way, but unfortunately, it's just not sustainable for everyone. I've been feeling the effects of feeling burnt out of doing work on the board, and really happy we got something in place to move forward. And I think we have a really strong slate of new board members coming in to support the organization. And so, wishing them all the best, and I'm sure I'm going to be helping out in one way or another for subcommittees, and looking forward to see what the future board does.
Very good, thank you, Haddo. I will say this, Haddo's an elite competitive player. He's a young guy with lots of energy. One of the first guys I called when I became president, because he is somebody that can bring a whole new aspect to what's happening at the board. So it's nice to be having such eclectic. I know him and I are pretty close in age. No, on different ends of the world. But no, it's been great to have Haddo, and for the past 4 years. Membership. I thought that might be happening. So first of all, I want to say, Brenda Fazer is our membership director. Brenda, you have to stand up. Began Pickleball Alberta. When we started in 2016, Brenda was one of the inaugural board members. She was on membership. Last year, she did juniors and brought junior program to a new height that Dean's been working with now and doing a great job moving forward. And now Brenda's our membership director. She has done so much for pickleball in Alberta that if there's a statue, if we ever have an office and there's a statue, it will be with you, Brenda, outside the front door of that. Yeah, let's give her a hand. I don't know if anybody deserves it. And I have to also say, Dick, thank you for all the support, for all the work that she does do. It's got to be, that's a team happening there for sure. All right, with membership, main functions to support new and existing club and members, develop, set up clubs on our national system, PCNS, and collaborate with Pickleball Canada, the developer, and other provinces on PCNS leadership and development. Here are all the different clubs that we have. People ask us about sport zones. That's something that was put together by Alberta Sports, is to break in zones. So like, it's not just pickleball that put this together. It's not pickleball that put these zones together. It is from the sport, Alberta Sports. And so we followed with them. So when we break it down by zones, when we become recognized and for funding, we'll be able to just plug right in to their existing system with our zones. So we can always do reports by zones as well. So a little bit forward thinking on there. So thank you to all those different clubs that we have, 41. Welcome to the 9 affiliated clubs and the 2 associated clubs this year. Carstairs, Chestermere, Edmonton Volleyball and Pickleball Center, Richmond Green, Northern Lights, Macomb, Olds, Tees, Calgary Pickleball Center, Ziba Beach, Westlock, and also Calgary Pickleball Center. Now just came on as well. Member demographics. The age of the membership is shifting slightly from the 50s and 90s and 60s. Oh, sorry, from the 50 to 59s and 60 to 69s towards the 30s, towards the 30 to 49s. Under 18 is also rising slightly. We would definitely like to still be bending that curve towards the juniors, but we're happy who we have. And I will say this too, when Haddo mentioned that about the fee increase, one thing we want to be looking at is doing more for rec players and also for seniors. Those are two, of our big demographics for our membership. And we have, I know the new board and the old board, we've been talking about some ideas. What can we do for them? Because we have things for our competitors, things for our juniors, but we want to make sure we're touching everybody and giving everybody a benefit. Pickleball Alberta. Membership. Now, as of yesterday, is 10,140. Not sure if you saw the last newsletter there, but we celebrated. Her name was Rhonda. She is so excited about pickleball. When I was interviewing her, she couldn't stop smiling. She was so happy to get a jacket, so happy to finally win something. She hadn't won anything since that thing with Wayne Gretzky. And one of the cute things that I loved was one of the questions we asked is, what's your favorite shot? And for her, it was going over the net. Any shot that went over the net.
Her favorite ball being the yellow one.
Yeah, her favorite ball was the yellow one. And the other one that I thought was cute was, what's her favorite male athlete? Taylor Swift's boyfriend. Special Olympics. This is, again, one of Brenda's initiatives that she's really taken on. 3 locations this year, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Red Deer. We have 40 plus athletes taking part of it, 30 to 35 coaches. I was at one of them there. Actually, I'll give a plug here to Poach as well. We negotiated, Pickleball Alberta negotiated with Poach to get a pretty elite paddle from Poach at below cost. or at cost, and then we subsidize it as well a little bit. So they are super excited, those young athletes, when they were playing there. It was, they smiles again as big as the horizon. We're hoping to expand in the future goals these areas to other affiliated clubs and get a Special Olympics regional director for each of these different zones and encourage regional play and become a recognized sport for inclusion in the Special Olympics in Alberta for their provincials. Communications, Lauren, she'll be doing, her and I worked a lot together on the Facebook posts, on YouTube channel, on Facebook. We want to do a little bit more on TikTok. TikTok seems to be the new thing, especially in the juniors. Technology, Allison Ramsley, great lady here helping us with technology, because the bigger you get, the more technology you have to take advantage of to make sure we're sustainable. So she does work along with Brenda for the orientation sessions with the new clubs that are being affiliated. She liaises with the developer of the PCNS Tracky, the Pickleball Alberta website. We were meeting about once a week there at one point there during the summer, making sure that our website content is always up to date, which to us we think is critical. If we have a website that doesn't have update information, who's going to continue to go to it? So every week we make sure we have our updated competitions calendar on there, our latest newsletters are on there, any special announcements that we have right on the front screen, like our Alberta Pickleball Day or of the Year Awards. She's also been great with Gmail and our Google platform and other account and financial management for Pickleball Alberta Technology. Doing a great job. And a little bit better about our website there. You can see some of the different things. One of the big projects we're going to have here in December is updating our legacy project for 2023, where we'll put in the new board, we'll put in all our provincial winners, of the Year Award winners, power rankings, all go into the legacy project. So last year, I worked quite a bit on it, going all the way back to 2016, finding some old spreadsheets where I got all the provincial winners from our first provincials. And we should be proud here in Alberta because we are the only province that's had a continuous provincial championship, which I was quite surprised at, but I know how important it is to a lot of players. Officiating report. 16 tournaments in Alberta this year, 6 were Pickleball Canada sanctioned. Some highlights there. 100% of the matches were refereed. That is unheard of. If like I go to Quebec or if I go to BC, like they say, how do you do it? Well, a lot of it's, you know, Garen Jones has done such a great job with Ryan Shribney and Julie and other people, Jane White maybe, that just go out and do clinics. And we have a lot of referees. We actually have, we'll see, I think it's 1/3 of the referees in Canada are from Alberta. So we're very, very fortunate to have that. So you can see that we have 89 out of 271 accredited referees, 33%. And we only have 16% of the membership in Canada. So we have 1/6 of the membership, but we have 1/3 of the referees. We have 42% of the certified referees are from Alberta. So almost half of the referees in Canada are from Alberta. Certified being the same as level 3. We also put together recognition packages for our level 3s, where they got a 200, if they did over, referee pouches. If you did over 200 matches refereed, or are a certified referee, you'd get a Pickleball Alberta pouch to hold the balls and your pencils and this stopwatch. And also, we introduced a number of years ago the SHIRT program where you have level 1s and level 2s. So here's a real official look to it. Junior pickleball. Dean, can you do this one?
Go ahead, you're on a roll.
Okay.
I didn't know that was an option.
Yeah, it won't be when your report comes out. All right, junior pickleball, thank you very much to Dean. We now have 190 juniors. When you started 2 years ago, Brenda, how many juniors do we have?
I don't know, about 15, but we are actually up to
250 something.
Okay, beautiful.
Last week's
190 was an 81% increase from just last year.
Wow. And from 2 years ago, we only had 15 junior members. Yeah, we're just kind of crawling along. So now we have 215, did you say? 212? What, over 200 juniors?
It doubled since last year.
It's doubled since last year, yeah. So great work there, Brenda and Dean this year. 79 females, that's fantastic. And I know that's a big thing that we want to be doing is bringing young girls into the sport. Brenda's talked to me a lot about this. There's different programs that the government of Alberta has, or Sport Alberta has, because girls play sports for different reasons. You cannot attract girls to sports the same as you attract boys, and the retention isn't the same. So that's something that we want to focus on as well. And we got some. I don't have to explain it to you because I know you the way you play. One of my favorite games to referee is that young lady right over there. And there you can see the different numbers as well. Coaldale's got 20. Medicine-Hat's got 48. Parkland 24. Where are you, Calgary? 4?
I know. We're trying.
Calgary only has 4. Next year at the AGM, we'll see a big number there. I know. And I understand it takes critical mass. I know my son was a junior. He didn't want to play because there wasn't a lot of other juniors in it. That was like 4 years ago. So it is critical mass. Once you get the pump going, then all of a sudden, it starts taking off. Popcorn theory. Teach the teachers, a big thing going through the schools. I know that one's happening in Edmonton, putting together curriculums and things like that. Understanding that the schools is a great way to get to our juniors, to get started. Yeah, the junior paddle program with Poach has been very, very successful. They are now USA approved junior paddles at a subsidized cost. So they're probably getting like an over $100 paddle. I think it's like, is it Dean, $40? Yep. $40 for a premium paddle. So we really want to try to avoid any sort of barrier to entry for our juniors. And a paddle at that cost is very, very acceptable. And this year we had a record number of juniors that participated in our Pickleball Alberta Provincial Championships. And a big thank you to Dean. Who else is on that call there, Dean? Brenda? Yeah, to get these, because to have an 8-year-old playing against a 17-year-old, so the 17-year-old can almost be a 4.5 player, and the 8-year-old's a brand new player. They were in the same division. It just made a lot of sense for everybody, for safety as well, to move these elite juniors up into the adult division. And they were so thankful for us, and it took a lot of work. And Dean, thank you for you and your team for making that happen. That was really important. A lot of juniors and parents have continued to thank me for that. Our junior jamboree. Here, Jen, you got to talk about this one.
All right, so we had Junior Jamboree that was set up in Edmonton at the Edmonton Volleyball, otherwise known as the EVP Center. And we had 29 registered participants and 6 volunteer coaches that came in to help us out. We put them into 3 groups and 2 coaches in each of the 3 groups. Started with a short demo and then had each of those 3 groups, participants went, and each of the 3 coaches, 6 coaches, 2 in each group. I pretty much gave them license to come up with whatever lesson plan that they wanted to. And a point I'd like to make is that some of the older kids that were higher level players, 3-5s, high 3-5s, the coaches that was coordinating that, Joel Pelche from Red Deer, he came with a lesson plan, and the kids were out all warming up as everybody was coming in. And he came to me and he said, "So those are the kids that I'm coaching?" Yep. I got to redo my lesson plan. He was just very much impressed with the level of play that these juniors had. So he, on the spot, just came up with something different and rolled that out. And then each of the groups were then put into loosely organized round robin. We moved kids around so that they could have a chance to play at higher levels, or some that were maybe in a little tough, we moved them down and around. So everybody had a chance to play at their competitive level. And then at the end, we had some gift cards that Coach Pickleball had provided and some cooling towels. And we finished with a hot dog feast. And thanks to one of my, I just kind of did the old, to a fellow from Hannah that helped, Jay Slemp, that did all the cooking for the hot dogs. And I do want to point out as well that we get there and we're starting to set up, and the phasers were there, and you guys are incredible. So they were there from the start, helping to unload everything, get everything set up, clean up at the very end. We were the last, my wife and I, and then we're the last 4 people that leave. They helped us clean up, so very much appreciated. Yeah, thank you. This is a really good event, and I'm hoping next year to be able to do 2, one in Calgary and one in Edmonton. And through our relationship with EVP and the facilities that have opportunities for us to do it, looking forward to it. Junior program's amazing. Is this the last sheet, or is there another?
No, I'll just see what else you got here. No, keep going.
So when we talk about grassroots, I'm confident that at this point we have clubs that have established this right at their levels, and I've got a coordinated group of half a dozen or 8 clubs in Alberta where they've got club coordinators that I work with, sending them templates of what training programs look like. We've got a Facebook page that they can come on and check things out. And so to say that we're at a grassroots, I think we're there. Clubs are really pushing these events and getting paddles. Lots of clubs get their adults to donate their paddles that they're not using anymore. So juniors don't even need to buy a paddle, they can come and start playing. We're looking at what we need to do for junior girls in pickleball. We mentioned before, the girls numbers are coming up. Some junior coach training, the NCCP program that Ilsa has been working with, coordinating here in Alberta. Doing some skill development clinics for the junior players. Identifying elite players here in Alberta that can go interprovincially and play in BC. I've got contacts in BC, not quite yet in Saskatchewan yet, but we'll look at something interprovincial that we could look at. Yeah, continuing with elite players in the adult brackets. They're competitive in the adult brackets. We got 15, 16-year-old kids that compete at adult 3-5 and 4-0 and do very well. I think that's it.
Yeah. All right, thank you very much, Dean. And Charity, I know you had a pro event there in Edmonton.
Yes.
What was the name of the tour again?
The North American Professional Pickleball Tour.
North American Professional Pickleball Tour. And you had some juniors actually playing in that event, didn't you?
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great opportunity for those elite juniors to play against, top level professional players, to see how they stacked up, and to give them just a little bit of taste of that excitement for the future, right?
And they play the game right, don't they?
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, they play the game.
Ava is actually in Mexico right now, competing in the Mexican Nationals. She won the women's 4.5 singles and placed 4th in the mixed open with Connor, her brother. So that's pretty awesome.
That is really awesome.
For an 18-year-old girl.
And Ava was our 2022 Junior Player of the Year.
That's right.
Wow. And Connor is, again, from Edmonton, or from Alberta. St. Albert, yeah. And another top player that's played on the tour, but yeah. So thank you very much for letting them go into your tour like that.
We're all about supporting the juniors, whatever we can do.
Yeah, appreciate that. Super. All right, nice bridge over to competitions here. Wanda Lazar, our competitions director. Alberta hosted 2 major championships this summer. We're very lucky to have done that. Again, the Western Regionals and our Provincials. We had 537 players at our Provincials, 518 at the Regionals. And let's see here, what else we got. Yeah, Wanda did a great job in the clubs putting the information down to her so we could have our competitions calendar. such an important thing that we do with that is making sure that we don't have tournaments going on top of each other. Like you wouldn't want the Calgary tournament being put over top of a High River tournament or a Calgary tournament. You just gotta make sure we are spacing them out across the summer. So with the competitions calendar, yeah, and so you want to think, again, for tournaments and things like that, a lot of volunteers are necessary to run a tournament, especially a tournament director. I don't know why anybody wants to be a tournament director, because the number of emails you get from people, and I know we're talking about ratings, and hopefully Pickleball Canada will do something about it, but that is the hottest topic we have, and tournament directors are constantly saying, can I play in this level? Can I play in that level? My partner's this level, but I'm in that level. So real hats off to all our tournament directors out there during our competitive season. Coaching report, Ilse Wong is doing a great job. Again, we've got some of the best support groups here for our coaching. She constantly is getting clinics from Mr. Renison there through Tennis Canada. So right now, we've had 2 level 1 and 2 level 2 courses in 2023, 75 level 1 and 20 level 2 certified coaches, which again is some of the highest in the country. Introduced new course facilitator Colin McDonald. She's got a coaching working group which teach the teacher. In 2024, she's looking to expand that program and professional development for certified coaches. Treasurer's report. I'll leave this to Dwight and Jeff. The first thing we'll look at here, Jeff, will be the financial statements.
Okay, you're gonna have them up there?
Yeah, and these were audited review engagements by King & Company. They do a lot of sporting associations, so they've been a great help. Our chart of accounts is one thing that we're going to be totally changing a little bit, not a little bit, a lot, from just different input that we've had from him. And that's kind of going to trickle right down through to our budget and things like that and how it's going to be presented in future years. Unfortunately, it's too late for this year. But Jeff, I'll hand it over to you.
Okay. Do you want me to go live first?
Yeah, sure, if you want to. Yeah. Actually, we'll do that within the elections.
Okay.
Yeah. And maybe just come in here a little tighter so you can get the camera there, Jeff. Okay.
As Kirk said, we had our financials looked at by a professional accounting firm, and that's part of our bylaws. So at the end of today, we're gonna need somebody to audit our 2023 statements. So I'll have to make a motion for that. So I'll probably forget. So please remind me to make the motion. Okay. Yeah. I don't think we need to go through that. So this is where our assets are right now, about 69,000, sorry, this was at the end of 2022. So we started the year with $69,000 in assets and very few liabilities. And so our net was $69,354. So a lot of those assets carried over from during COVID. We were able to build up a slush fund, so to speak. And that, ironically, that is about as much as we need to carry through a year worth of expenses. So in our discussions with Daniel at the accounting firm, it's good best practices to carry about a year's worth of money in your bank account to get through all your expenses for the following year in case something drastic happens like another COVID or we get shut down and we can't take membership fees. So we're sitting pretty good at the start of the year. With the expansion of 10,000 members, though, we're going to need to bring in some more income, and with everything that we're planning on trying to help grow the sport, all that's going to cost money. So that was one of the reasons for the development fee. We want to make Pickleball Alberta the best sporting organization in Canada and even North America. So. So as you guys know, memberships make up the bulk of our income. So in 2022, the memberships were 38,000. We were able to bring in about 12 for apparel. That included some hats and banners, things that we sell at championships and club levels. Kirk was great at bringing in sponsorship money as well for our provincials and the regionals. And then, so we brought in about 60 grand in 2022 just from revenue. And our biggest expenses you see there was the apparel and accessories. Awards, when you win a medal at the provincials or regionals or any of the local events, we do a lot. We put a lot. What is it? $5 per medal that we contribute for that.
No, they didn't. We paid the balance.
Okay.
Actually, that's under competitions. The awards for the of the year awards.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, competitions. So our biggest expense of competitions is provincials. This year for 2023, that figure was actually considerably higher. It was about $15,000 for us to put that on. And then we bring in about $4,000 from Red Deer based on our agreement with the hosting club. So I think that's something we're gonna have to look at is, we're losing money right now running the provincials. So something's gonna probably have to change with our contract with whoever is hosting those provincials, whoever that might be in 2024. Officiating, so Garen and his team, there's $1,500 there. Some of that is travel. A lot of it is more on the education and getting the referees up to speed on the rules and teaching them to be a proper referee. And technology, that was another one of our bigger ones. So website has got a lot to do with that. Our YouTube channel.
$3,000 for the national system.
Yes, and the PCNS fee, so that's the Pickleball Canada national system. That's $3,000 a year. So that's half of that roughly. So professional fees would be for legal and accounting. So at the end of 2022, we brought in about just over $7,300. Okay. So I know there's some consternation right now about this development fee. You can see we're not raking in the dough, as some people have said to me. So whatever we do bring in, we're trying to put it back into the pickleball, making it better in Alberta. Yeah, so our net assets at the end of 2022 were $66,000. That's pretty self-explanatory. So we started the year for 2023 with $58,000 in the account, and that's roughly about 1 year's of expenses. So that's again why we wanted to bring in that development fee so we can make this a bigger and better program.
Yeah, I think that's just verbiage there.
Yeah.
Okay. The budget there then?
So yeah, we created a budget in August there. This was based on the $10 development fee that's been in place since October, and 9,000 members. So we're going to be a little bit higher than that. So you can see the membership dues there. I based that on the percentages, actual yearly percentages from 2022. So you can see some months are bigger than others. So that should be a pretty good representation of what we're going to be bringing in for 2024. We're actually already at 10,000 members, so assuming all those members re-up, we're going to be actually in a little bit more positive situation there on our membership dues. So apparel, that was a pretty good revenue generator for us as well. I think, Kirk, we're out of the blue jackets and hats, right? So we're going to have to bring in something new now. Coordinate that.
Well, not quite. There's some sizes that are out. Okay. A couple of female sizes, but the rest are still available at this point. Sorry.
Okay. This is the expense side. Yeah. Okay. So, in the early summer, we asked each of our directors to give us a budget of what they would like to have to spend to grow, say, coaching, or grow the referees, or grow the technology. So a lot of these figures are based on those budgets. So these aren't final numbers, but they should be pretty close. Our biggest one will be officiating. With the number of refs that Kirk mentioned earlier, we've got a lot of expenses there. And to match what other organizations are doing across the country, we're now paying stipends for some of the higher level referees. And so that's going to be one of the biggest increases for us this year, is the referee stipends. So you can see we budgeted about 12 grand. Kirk and I were talking about it this week. That might be a little high, but or that some of that might get taken up in competition fees. So, but yeah, roughly about $30,000 will be an expense for refereeing this next year.
Jeff, that's a lot high.
It's a lot high.
That's a lot high.
Okay. Well, it's better to be high now.
Yeah.
And then one of the other bigger expenses was the technology fee. So that was going to be, we're budgeting about $12,000 on that. And this is, do we have the executive director in this? Thank you. Yeah, so I think as we've said in some of the newsletters that we want to hire an executive director. I know just helping Dwight out with the treasurer for the last 8 months, I can see how hard everybody's working, and it's something that we definitely need to do. So, so that is it worked into the budget. So if you scroll down to the bottom there, so we're showing a negative balance there. So that was based on a $75,000 salary for the executive director. Fortunately, we have about $60,000 to cover that right now. So, but we are, with the increase in the memberships and looking at other creative ways to bring in more money, we should be able to cover that. So that was just something I did for myself.
Okay, I think that's a good job.
Okay, good. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Jeff. If anybody's got questions for Jeff, and we can look at a screen where it's not so blurry and all that, feel free to do that after the meeting here, and we can probably explain a lot of the different things. I do know, like, again, when I was part of the accounting discussions there, what he really said, we really do have to start looking at our chart of accounts, because right now, if we sold jackets at our provincials, it went into competitions revenue. Officiating expenses went into travel instead of sometimes into competitions, because that was a cost for competition. So again, we're all going through growing pains. We've come a long ways from a spreadsheet and pieces of paper, where we've got it now, Jeff. I think it's the last 2 years, Jeff, you've been using QuickBooks?
Yeah, it's been a year now that I
Yeah.
started that.
And I can tell you, thank you very much for that, Jeff, taking us to another professional level of an accounting system, because I know how much work that was. So we're still getting better at what we're doing. We're not perfect, but we're one of the best. I will say Pickleball Alberta is one of the best. So one thing that we need to do is we do have to appoint auditors for 2023. We used King & Company. They do a lot of sport organizations, thank you, and associations. So they're very experienced with working with somebody like pickleball. I know they do curling, and I knew they do a few other sports, and Daniel himself specifically does it. Very accessible gentleman. You need to call him, he'll respond within 4 hours to answer any quick questions you have. And more than reasonable. Hattow's got, I think, has to give our lawyer about 10 pickleball lessons because of the rate we got. You're up for giving pickleball lessons there, Rich, to our accountant because of the rate we got. But really, a great company, and I couldn't support them more. Again, it's not a full audit, which would be in tens of thousands of dollars. This one here that we did this year, I know Ontario paid $8,000. He charges us $2,500. So really, really reasonable and very accessible. Their business is King & Company, been doing it for 60 years. Again, provide for a lot of non-for-profits, and they're a local accounting firm out of Edmonton. So I would take a motion to appoint, for example, King and Company. Somebody wants to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Murray, so moved by Jeff. Do we have a seconder? Seconder from Sue,
Calgary.
Calgary Pickleball Club. Thank you very much, Sue. All right, any discussion? Anybody have any questions or discussion regarding the motion? Very good, then all in favor of King and Company for appointing for our auditors for our 22 review of engagement? All in favor? Opposed? Excellent, thank you, carried. All right, moving on to our 2023 nominating committee. Thank you very much to Murray Young, to Haddo Thule, and to Beverly Walker for bringing these names forward. First off, we have 5 directors that are continuing to their second year of their term, because when you become a director, it's expected to you be there for 2 years. Some of it's been 4, but 2 years is what we expect. Membership would be Brenda Fazer, Secretary Murray Young, Technology Allison Ramsley, Juniors Dean Croach, and Officiating Garrett Jones. So really, again, a lot of experience there that's still left in the board. We have 6 individuals that have their names standing for nomination for a 2-year term. And they include Ilsa Wong for coaching, who's an incumbent, 3rd and 4th years as a director. Jill Richard for president. Charity Christensen for vice president. Andrew Gorman from Peace River. Sorry, Charity, you're from, I should say you're from?
Sure Park.
Sure Park, thank you. Andrew Gorman's from Peace River. Jeff Holm, I'm going to get you to say a little bit about you because I forgot to put yours in the newsletter, so apologies to that. And Doug Fogg from Edmonton for competitions. So Jeff, what I'll do is I'll let you do a little bit of an introduction for yourself before we make the vote.
Thanks, Kirk. Yeah, so my name is Jeff Holm. I'm from St. Albert. I've actually been playing for a little over 2 years now and really enjoyed the game. I've been really impressed with the camaraderie, how people are so willing to help you move up to the next level. And that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to put my name in to be treasurer. I kind of feel like I want to give back. So just a little bit about me. I've had my own business for about 27 years now. We do about $20 million in sales each year. As a small business, for those of you who are small business people, I'm sure you know, you end up being accountant, marketing, sales, you do it all. So when Dwight mentioned that his business was getting very busy and he needed some support, I was very happy to put my name in and give him a hand for the last year. So looking forward to officially coming on the board. So if there's any questions, you're more than welcome to call me or email me. My email address will just be treasurer@Pickleball Alberta. So, and that's all we need to know.
All right, thank you very much, Jeff. So again, this is a very strong group that we have coming in to support our existing directors. You all saw them in their bios. I will call, as per Robert's Rules of Order, is there anybody else in the room that would like to run for director of Pickleball Alberta? Look over here. Second call for anybody. We will find you though next year. For director for Pickleball Alberta? All right, final call for any director in the room who would like to put their name forward for director of Pickleball Alberta. All right, hearing none. Murray, what I'll ask you to do as the secretary is cast 1 ballot for each one of the new directors here, and let's give a big hand to our new board of directors coming on. Ilsa, Jill, Charity, Andrew, Jeff, and Doug. Congratulations. Charity, why don't you stand up? Jeff, stand up. Super excited. This is going to be a great board. We've had some great boards. I think this will be one of the strongest ones we've ever had. We got to say this, huh, Haddo? Big thank you.
My pleasure.
To the 2023 Board of Directors. Kirk Jensen, myself from Edmonton, Haddo from Calgary, Allison Ramsley from Calgary, Dwight from Spruce Grove, Jeff helping with the accounting, Murray from Calgary, Dean from Hannah, Juan from Medicine Hat, Brenda Fazer from Red Deer, Aaron Jones from Spruce Grove, Ilsa Wong from Lethbridge, and Lauren from Edmonton. You can see we're right across the whole province there now. So Let's give them a big hand, and why don't all the existing directors please stand up. What we'll do is all the directors that are here will get a picture at the end here, okay? All right, so that concludes our AGM. Thank you again to the many board and the many volunteers across Alberta. We are so blessed. This is such a great sport, and volunteers have driven it to where it's gone today. The countless hours that they put into it. And also I have to say this, whenever I'm talking to people out there and I say, why did you join? It would be somebody that there's another player or a person that said, oh, I was playing with Bob, or I was playing with Jill or Nancy, and they were just so welcoming. Then they took me to the courts, and the players there were so welcoming. So I was really excited to come join and be part of it. And so it goes right through our grassroots on why we're so successful is the people that we have, the players that we have, the members that we have. We are very lucky in this sport, and I'm so excited to see where it goes in the next 5 years compared to the last 5. All right? So thank you everybody for coming to our AGM. We've got it done now. I can tell you, I got my hand up and I'm going to be having a party tonight. But with that, Mr. Secretary, I call the meeting to adjourn, and everybody is welcome to have some snacks here. And everybody, enjoy the game. We'll see you next year. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well done.
What'd you say? They got it down. You weren't looking for drama today, were you? It's all good. It's all good. There should be.
Everybody's happy playing. Everybody's happy.
Congratulations, at first. You might be second in the motion putting through
Sam. Yeah.
You drove in?
Oh, right.
Fantastic.
Oh. Oh, that's a good thing.